Hi, welcome or welcome back. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Sarah Jane and I make content about writing my debut novel. So if you are interested in writing content, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe because it really helps support my channel. I feel like it's been so long since I've talked to you guys, but in reality, it really hasn't. I've just been at the beach for 10 days, so it just feels like a really long time. But yeah, it definitely hasn't been. But anyways, I wanted to say hi because I have a new book idea. So if you guys watched my last video, I finished draft 4 of Project Crown. Project Crown is my Greek mythological fiction novel about the Amazons. It follows a story about Queen Antiope and King Theseus and how their love story has repercussions. So draft 4 is going to go through another round of beta reader feedback because I had some pretty significant dev edits for one of my character arcs. So I want to get another set of eyes on that. And I also want to take a break from it. So before, when I've taken breaks from my novel, I don't know, I just read a lot or do other things. I've never really had the capacity to think of another book. As soon as I stopped working on Project Crown and shelved it for a month, because that's how long I'm planning on taking a break from it, I immediately had this yearning for another story. And I wasn't going to say anything about it on here, but I've come to a point where I'm really invested in the story. So I figured I'd kind of bring you guys along. But let me bring you up to speed. So I carry this notebook. Let me show you. I carry this notebook with me. I actually have shown this on Natalie Jane's Shields, one of her live streams. I got this from Scotland. It essentially just carries 2 little small notebooks in it. It's just this little red leather. We got a little snake, what is this called? Charm. And then I have a little lock and an angel wing right here as well. So anyways, I just carry this with me and I just write down ideas that just come to mind. And they're just little scribbles, right? So I won't go through them, but just little bits of inspiration. But nothing has really piqued my interest. And then literally about a week ago, it hit me. And this was right before I went on the beach trip. But before I tell you guys about it, I want to share some self-reflection that I had on a morning walk while I was at the beach. And obviously I'm back from the beach, but these were all things that I was thinking of while I was at the beach, which is funny because if you guys have been here, I've talked about how Project Crown came to me while I was on my July 4th trip 2 years ago. And this also happened on my July 4th trip. And I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that it's Independence Day or anything. I think it's because for July 4th, I normally go to the beach. And when I'm at the beach, I am so chill and zenned out. I just read and lay in the sun. And I think there's something to be said about, separating yourself from work stresses and stresses of life and how it allows for creativity. I definitely think that happened again with this new project. But anyways, 2 points of self-reflection that I just wanted to kind of mention before getting into everything is, 1, Project Crown took so much research into myth and legends and lore. And I spent about a little over a month and a half researching before I even opened a Google Doc to write a word. And then even once I started writing, the research just continued. I bought books that specialized in the Amazons and about King Theseus and about the myth surrounding them, and there's different variations, and the research honestly probably didn't stop until I was done with draft 3. That point, I finally felt like I was in a really good place with the book and what I'd researched, that I didn't need to research as intensely anymore. So I knew that whatever I worked on next, I needed it to be a little bit easier than that. I didn't think I wanted to do fantasy, and I wanted to do something that I had relative knowledge about so that I didn't have to deep dive so hard. Project Crown was, if I could sum it up in 3 words, grit, passion, and war. And I'm not saying that my writing is not refined, but I am saying that the world that I created for the Mascara was. It's ancient Greece, it's natural, it's gritty, and because I've spent 2 years writing that, I kind of really just wanted the opposite for this next project. Something elegant and refined and poised, and yeah, I just needed to take a step away from that world. So that now leads me to my next project, which I am calling, drumroll please, Project Fox. I haven't completely worked out the pitch yet, but it's going to be set in Middleburg, Virginia, which is about an hour outside of DC. The time frame is going to be October to the beginning of March, so mostly fall and winter time frame. So think very cozy, vibes. It's either going to be a mystery or a thriller. I haven't quite decided, but I'm right now leaning towards mystery. And the pitch, which this is not a refined pitch, so bear with me, but essentially Middleburg, Virginia is horse country, if you don't know that. Not a lot of people do, but there are over 15,000 horses in Middleburg, Virginia. The main character moves to DC to pursue a career in journalism from Middleburg when she finds out that her grandmother has passed. So she then returns home, but certain things make her suspect that the death isn't an accident. To sort of like replay kind of how this all came about is after I finished draft 4 of Project Crowned, I just like took a day to just kind of exist at the beach, because that's where I finished it, was at the beach. And that was really nice, but it was like my brain just couldn't stop thinking about this story that I just mentioned to you. I was like, oh my gosh, like I really want to explore this. So I decided to just play around with the characters, and now I'm like absolutely hooked with this kind of characters and world that I've come up with. For situational awareness, I part pantsed and part plotted Project Crown. I knew the beginning and I knew the ending, and I had the myths to sort of guide me in what direction I wanted to go. But a lot of it was just completely pantsed throughout the entire book. So that experience has made me realize that I want a little bit more of a plot for Project Fox and to flesh out the characters beforehand instead of mid-draft, because I definitely didn't do that. I had maybe 3 characters fleshed out beforehand, and that was it. Everything else got fleshed out as I was writing. Didn't love that. I want to do better this time. So with all that being said, where am I actually at in the process? One quick caveat before we continue. There are different types of horse sports in Middleburg, Virginia, like polo is a big one. Another one is fox hunting. This particular story is going to deal with the world of fox hunting. And I do feel the need to just say that fox hunting is if you aren't familiar with it, it's a countryside activity in which the riders are on horseback and they follow a pack of trained hounds that track the scent of a fox. It used to be a live fox, but nowadays it's actually just an artificial scent. And the hunt involves galloping across fields, jumping fences, going through rural landscapes. And historically, the goal was to chase and kill the fox. But nowadays, especially after legal reforms, but drag hunting, which is just following a laid scent, is used nowadays to stimulate a real fox without a live animal. So my book is in no way or shape or form endorsing animal cruelty. It is just a story set within a very complex and real tradition that I plan on exploring wealth, privilege, and power. Virginia in general has a really strong hunting culture, and in my project, the riders are going to be chasing an artificial scent. There will be no real foxes that are going to be hunted in my novel. So that's a quick disclaimer, and I just want to mention that because I feel like it was important to mention before we kind of get into everything. So where am I at in the process? So while I was at the beach, I decided to go ahead and do a little bit of mood boarding, act structures, and character development. And so I thought it'd be fun just to kind of show you guys where I'm at in the process. So originally with Project Crown, I did everything in Google Docs. I did my character profiles, which I'll show you. I have one right here. This is a template that I bought from another YouTuber here. I will link her below. It is a good template. I didn't love it from the aspect of like, I feel like I had to close a document and open another document and go find another document, and it just felt a little tedious. So then I tried printing it out like I just showed you guys, and it still didn't like scratch that itch. So starting this project, I was like, I want to try to organize everything a little bit differently this time. I still plan on using Google Docs to actually write the manuscript, but for the actual like brainstorming portion of it, I wanted to try something different. So I got onto Notion, which I love Notion. I have so many Notion dashboards. I didn't realize that Notion had templates that you could use. So I looked on Notion templates, and I actually found 2 templates that are like literally perfect for me. And it's how I have currently organized everything for my current book. And I just want to show you guys. Okay, so this is my dashboard, and I will link the original dashboard in the description, but here I sort of have like a little bit of everything that I need, and this dashboard does continue, but I haven't customized it all, so I won't show all of it. But I made a little mood board at the top. The red jacket is very indicative of traditional fox hunting. It's just the main color that they've used for long time. And I wanted to kind of show you guys what I've done so far. So in here we have writing, planning, and notes. So in here I have my plot. I'm not going to open it because I don't want to give any spoilers, but for the plot, I have it divided into Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 structure, which is really helpful into guiding me on how I want the plot to go. And then here I actually have it divided into chapter summaries. So this is Act 1, this should say Act 2, and then this is Act 3. And then here you could see the ones that are like black are ones that I filled out. So for example, in the prologue, it says they're preparing for the hunt and the scream could be heard, right? But then if you go over here, like this one is like a gray, that means I haven't put anything in there. So in terms of like how much planning I've actually gotten done for the overall storyline, I would say I have all of Act 1, half of Act 2, and then I know how I want it to end in Act 3, but I haven't like put all the pieces in place yet. So in terms of comparing that to how much I did for Project Crown, I would say I've come much farther in that planning process because I definitely winged a lot of Project Crown. Not that I regret it because it turned out to be a really amazing story and I really am happy with the product, but yeah, totally different. So if we go back here, we have character development, and here I've developed quite a few characters, but I want to show you guys specifically the character template. I will also link this below, but I loved this because it really just helps you think about what like you want to incorporate and like really get deep into the thought of your characters. Also, my camera battery is blinking, so hopefully it doesn't die. I'm going to show you one though. So we're going to show you my main character. This is Victoria Tori Ashby. So she goes by Tori. Vibes are very cool girl, you know, literary old Monday Virginia journalist. Something about making her a redhead just like really stuck to me. So this is a girl that I found on Pinterest that really evoked the vibes that I was thinking for this character. I have her living in Georgetown, so this little house that she lives in, and I have her in her late 20s. And what's really cool about this template is you can like really expand in these areas. So with these toggles, you can like, what are her likes, what are her dislikes, what are her hobbies, all of that can be put in here, which I really appreciated because I feel like it had all this information in one spot and I don't have to see it all if I don't want to. So yeah, so these are the two dashboards that I'm kind of going in between. And then one other resource that I found that I also wanted to bring up is this Ultimate Plot Structure Library, which also I found on Notion, and it is free. And it just lists out all the different plot structures and kind of how to use them, which I thought was super helpful. So I'm doing the 3-act structure right here, which is a beginner structure, and it just lists out like, okay, you know, overview, this is what should happen in, you know, Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. But they also had other ones, like I considered doing the 7-act structure if I can find it. But they also have like a ton of other ones, so like you can totally go in here and see what sort of works for your story. Like I also consider doing the 7-point structure because I've heard this is really good for like mystery and thrillers, but it just looked really intense, so I think I'm gonna stick with the 3-act for now. But anyways, if you guys are looking for an easy place to look at different structures, this is on Notion and I will also link it below. So anyways, that is everything with my new story and my new project that I'm working on, and I'm really excited to bring you guys along with me on this new project because I feel like with Project Crown, I did not share a lot of the beginnings of my planning and writing because I think I almost needed to prove to myself that I could do it. And so once I got it to a point where I felt comfortable that like, okay, I did it and I proved it to myself, then I was ready to like share it with the world. Versus with this project, now that I have like a rep under my belt, I'm like, okay, like I feel more comfortable sharing with you guys like my processes and how I think about things. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here though because my camera is about to die, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it's so exciting to share this new project with you, and I can't wait to get back into the drafting process because it feels like I've just been in the revision process for long, and I'm really excited to kind of tinker around with this new story while I let Project Crown rest. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please leave in the comments below fox emoji, but let me know in the comments below what project you're currently working on. I would love to know so that we can support each other, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.